Everybody's asking me, hey, Troy, where do you see the housing market go at the end of summer? Well, I'm going to give you my hot jam on that particular subject, as well as go over a few more articles in today's Real Estate Daily. Hello, everyone. My name is Troy, and every day, Monday through Saturday, we go over the latest and greatest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage market. Before we jump into that, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Let's get the subscribers up, and then hit that like button. You like the content, or if you have a comment, hit that comment button as well, and then go over comments. I'm more than happy to read them, and we can go over what you have to say, and I have no problem responding to you. As well as we're in several other different social medias, Instagram, TikTok. Check us out there. We like to give you tips and tricks on how to buy and sell home, as well as how your home can be better and better suited for today's living. Let's jump right into it. This is a Yahoo Finance article. It says what the housing market will look like at the end of summer. Well, according to experts, and I'm going to throw myself amongst those experts, I see it continually getting hotter and hotter. I know that the last 4 weeks I've been out there, boots on the ground here in Southern California, Orange County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County. I've been seeing more and more buyers show up when I am viewing homes with my buyers. In fact, last weekend, I had seen several homes where I had to wait for people ahead of me, and there were people waiting behind me. Now, I wouldn't call that a line, but I would call it housing, house buyers are back in this market and they're hot. Now, how else do I figure that out? Well, I'm writing offers just as much. And with those offers, I'm getting multiple offers put on homes. So every time I write an offer, I am competing with several other offers. In fact, this weekend on one of my properties, there were 10 other offers besides my buyer's offer. And unfortunately, we came in second, which there is no prize for second place. But we absolutely went back to the old mindset. Number one, I'm writing at $20,000 over asking. Number two, I got rid of the appraisal contingency, and I still didn't even come in first. Guys, don't tell me out there that the housing market is in a recession, that's hurting. Here in Southern California, maybe in certain communities or maybe at certain price point in the much, much higher price points. But I'm telling you right now, in entry level and mid level, we are seeing it explode out there. And there's plenty of buyers that are out looking for homes. We see that demand is back, and don't tell anyone, shh, sellers are going to be back in control here real fast. Next article. Home prices will stay the same this cycle, says realtor.com. Danielle Hale. What is she basically saying? She, as well as a lot of experts, are telling people out there, you cannot compare this market, even though they might consider it being in a recession, to the housing bubble in 2008, 9, 10. It's just completely not the same. Everybody here that bought homes had to put down some type of down payment. So, and that we saw equity grow year over year, mostly between 20 and 25%. Everyone has equity. So we're just not gonna see that bubble. What happened back in 06, 07, 08, most of the loans were just fake loans or liar loans, they're called. They didn't put any money down. They were immediately in a negative equity because you had only paid part of interest. So every month went by, you owed interest, which was piled on the top of your housing payment and your housing equity or negative equity, your housing negative equity. We don't see that. So she's saying here, like I've been saying, and a lot of other people have been saying, hey, the housing bubble is not a bubble that's going to pop because of the financing situation that the government put us in. The regulation they put us in 10 years ago is going to save this market and save a lot of Americans their good, hard-earned equity in their homes. Next article. Homebuyers are increasingly backing out of deals as slowing market boosts negotiating power. Well, I always say that the majority of these particular articles are backwards looking. And I'm going to read what it says here, and I'm going to go over what I definitely feel what's happening. It says about 63,000 home purchase agreements were called off in July, equaling 16% of the market that went under contract that month. Well, let's go over it. I've said it before. In the middle of June to the middle of July, the market slowed down significantly. There was a lot of fear out there that the Fed was going to continue to raise rates, that inflation was going out of control, the oil prices, the food prices were just going up and up and up, and they didn't see any end in sight. Well, we figured out by the middle of July, hey, things are a lot better than they were. And now the mindset still from the sellers, though, was that I'm in control when they really weren't in control. So they would just bully the buyer, and we saw several different ways of properties falling out. Number one, seller wouldn't give any concessions. Number two, seller didn't want to give up the appraisal contingency. So if the house came in less, the buyer wants to walk because they're scared of what's going on with inflation. That was another reason why they walked. Number three, repairs. If there was repairs on a property, before the seller would do minimal repairs. When the buyer asked for them now, the seller would still have that mindset. Nah, I'm in control and you're not. Buyers would walk on that. So there were those three different issues that were going on where when there's a transition in the market, the mindsets have to change and we have to have that transition change. And that's why we see this many people had fallen out of escrow. Now, I have a feeling when we do the August numbers, it's going to go down. So the chart below, and we'll go ahead and show that chart real quick. We're seeing that we're at 16.1%. Well, when the virus hit in March of 2020 and April 2020, those numbers were higher. We've gone up because of the uncertainty that's going on right now, just like the uncertainty was going on, 2 years ago as well. So that's what we're seeing. Guys, I'm looking back at this and I'm going to say this was a blip on the radar for the moment. I think in the future might be something different, but right now I think homes are selling at a brisk pace like they were prior to June. Next article. This is one thing I've been saying all the time. You're seeing a lot of FUD in social media as well as in the media period about new home builders. Why? New home builders are only here for profit. Zero. There's no other reason they're here for. You as the general public, if you want to sell a house, it's because you have a reason to sell a house. It isn't because you're going to make $100,000. It's because I want to move somewhere else. My family is growing, or I'm tired of being in California. I want to move to a different state, right? These are real reasons. Home builders have none of those reasons. Home builders say, if I can't make X, I'm not building a house. Okay? It's that simple. Yet, you're looking at the media and they keep going over housing starts or new builds. Okay? Why? Because it's the easiest area in which you can show negativity from, in which new home builds, I could, at this point, new builders stuck their nose up to us agents. Most of them wouldn't even allow our clients, our buyers out there to even have us represent them in the contract. So I don't feel bad and sorry for them. And every time I get a chance, I tell people, you cannot look at a snapshot of our housing market off of 10% of the sales. And that's what new home builders represent, only 10% of our sales. And the last article here is interest rates. And we see them across the board went down slightly. 30-year conforming conventional down 5 basis points. 15-year went down 4. Jumbo went down 3. We're looking at about 3 on FHA. So as you're seeing, mortgage rates are holding steady. They're off their highs from June. And they've come down. If you really look at it, they've come down about 75 basis points, which is fantastic. And that's why you see the buyers back in. These are tolerable interest rates, and that's why we're seeing the market heat up again. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining me. If you have any comments below, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'm more than happy to answer anything you have to say or any comment you have. Otherwise, guys, you take care, and I will see you tomorrow.